Hello and welcome to today's edition of Coaching Corner with me, Tracy Forsyth. And today's Coaching Corner is inspired by the phrase slow to chide and swift to bless. It comes from a famous hymn and was written by the poet Henry Francis Lyte. So chide is an old-fashioned word for meaning to scold or to rebuke or to tell off. And the hymn is about Jesus being slow to tell people off, but quick to bless them. And religious beliefs aside, I've always loved that phrase and believe that the principle is very good practice with regards how you treat other people and how you treat yourself. And it frequently comes to mind at the moment for me when I think about social media. I mean, where would Twitter be if people were slow to chide? For example, most people's feeds would be a lot shorter, don't you think? Anyway, when it comes to how we treat ourselves, I think it's just a really useful reminder to be not so quick to judge or blame or berate ourselves when we make mistakes or do something wrong. In yoga, the heart chakra is called the Anahata chakra, and Anahata means unhurt or unstruck. And it's my belief that when we are swift to chide and blame and berate ourselves for mistakes that we've made, we are in effect sort of hurting or striking our heart center, by which I take to mean our self-esteem and our self-worth. So I'm not saying that we should never take stock and own our mistakes and just ignore any sort of anything that we do, any mess ups that we do. But if it is your default position to be swift to chide, I really urge you to first take notice what you're doing. And then think about slowing down that swift reaction. So can you be slower in chiding yourself? Can you be slower in rushing to judging and berating and telling yourself off? And the other thing is, like, can you be swifter to bless yourself, or at least sort of celebrate your wins and notice when things go well instead of just like focusing on the bad things. I work with so many what I call self-critical overachievers. So people who achieve great things, but are so incredibly self-critical that they only ever chide themselves. They never bless themselves. And that used to be me. I used to be like that. I used to just focus on what wasn't right or what I hadn't done perfectly instead of thinking, wow, I've just achieved this challenge or I've done that, etc., etc. So if this is you, think about that. Just notice how often you chide yourself, and notice how little you bless yourself or celebrate what you do well. So keep that phrase in mind. I urge you, if this is resonating with you, and maybe it will be if you're watching thus far, but if this is you, then I really urge you to keep that phrase in mind. Be slow to chide and swift to bless, and see if you can put that into practice and see what happens, and let me know what happens. All right, that's it for Coaching Corner. I will see you next week. Bye.